Welcome back to the channel. This is The Casuals. I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
Today's episode is, well, Japan Part 2. Yay! We get to go talk about Japan again, and there's probably going to be one more episode. But, so, we're basically picking up right where we left off. And the last thing we talked about was about Kyoto. And so, the next thing we want to talk about is, well, Mount Fuji. We went to Mount Fuji right after Kyoto. And how long did that take? I think it took about like 3 hours on train. Was it 3 hours on train? Do you remember?
Um, from Kyoto. I don't know if it was three.
It might have been just one, actually, right?
It might have been like two. Oh wait, I'm counting the bus ride. That's why.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
the
so it
bus
was one
ride.
hour each, right?
I'm pretty sure it was an hour. It might have been two for the train.
Yeah, yeah. So it didn't take that long to get to where we wanted to, and the place that we went to for try and see Mount Fuji was Lake Kawaguchiko or Kawaguchiko, sorry. Um, and that place is kind of like the main hub for tourism for Mount Fuji, Kawaguchiko, and we went there. Took about an hour bus ride from the station, Tokyo Station to Kawaguchiko, and remember the first thing when we got off the bus? It was just at the Kawaguchiko station. There was just a ton of people.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It felt like a Disneyland ride, like
Yeah,
line. There's so many people.
like there was people there because they stop at a resort, right? Like a resort hotel resort. Because and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, this is like a hotel resort officially, like kind of like officially for Mount Fuji. You could see it at our hotel, right? No one got off there. Everyone got off at the Kawaguchiko station.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah, and to and we're not exaggerating when we were saying there's a lot of people. It was packed. Like there was legitimately people like just packed everywhere in the
Like a
station.
can of sardines.
Yeah, and I guess to give you another idea of how bad it was, when we went to put our stuff away for the coin lockers because our check-in time for our place that we were staying at was a little bit later, like 3 hours later or something like that, and we didn't want to carry our luggage around in a mountainous area where there's a lot of hills, and so we wanted to put it inside the coin lockers, but the coin lockers only accepted obviously coins; they didn't have bills, and so we're like, well, we gotta exchange it because we don't have any coins on us, and so we went to try and exchange it, and when we saw the exchange machine, it was out of service because it was too full.
Yeah, it was no, I think it also ran out of coins
Oh yeah, that too, huh?
because there was a person there trying to fix it, but it was just out of coins, so they just put out of service because they didn't have any coins.
Yeah. And when we tried exchanging it with a person, you managed to exchange it, but when I tried, they literally just said no. And I think the reason was because they literally didn't have any coins left to exchange. There was too many foreigners exchanging coins.
Yeah, there was a coin shortage in that area specifically.
Yeah,
It was impossible to find 100 yen coins.
yeah. But we managed to get it sorted out. We put our stuff away in the locker. And
You just had to pay a little. You had
yeah,
specifically paid like 200 more.
I I did a dum dum.
Actually, no, you paid like 1,200 more.
Yeah, I did a dum dum because I first put my stuff away in the coin locker, and then I was like, oh wait, let me put away my backpack too, and I opened it again. You're not supposed to do that because it's literally just a one time thing. So if you open it, it resets the count, and so it's like, oh yeah, you have to re-put in the money. I was like, well, I don't have any more coins, so we ended up getting that resolved. I paid an extra like another 10,000 yen or something like that. Not 10,000 yen. It was like 1,200 yen. Sorry, and um we got that sorted. But yeah, I just did a dum dum there, and we pretty much went walking around because yeah, we just saw the lake. Yeah, we went to the lake, and the photo that you're seeing right now, in the background is the photo I took at the lake. So, really beautiful. What was your first impression when you actually saw the lake, like close up?
Oh, I thought the lake was amazing. It was just quiet, not not like I don't know. there were tourists, but they were more quiet, so
Hmm.
it made it more relaxing.
Yeah. There was, I think we were also towards the side, like a little bit more towards the side, because I know that, do you remember that ferry going around?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of tourists over there, but that was like further away. And I think we heard some of them shouting something, remember that?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were shouting.
And so there was a lot of tourists there, but we were separate. We were kind of secluded. And we found a really nice like kind of like area. There was like a little like not padoga, but like just like chairs and table deal. It was really like quiet and nice. And so we stayed there for a little bit. Hung out, took a lot of photos, did a lot of things. As in we we
Called a
we almost died.
Sorry, did you just call it a padoga?
I think I called it padoga by accident. Yes, I called it a padoga by accident. What did I mean to say? I meant to say what was those outdoor things? I'm forgetting what it's called. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
You're not talking about the Japanese
No, I'm
structure,
not
are you?
talking about that. I'm talking about those outdoor like where it has like a kind of it's like an octagon and it's covered. It has a roof on top and then it has like chairs and tables.
Oh, I can't remember. I'm my getting a brain fart, but I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're talking
for
about.
some reason padoga came in my mind.
I was like, I thought you meant pagoda for a second. I was like, that's a little strange, but okay. And
Let
then
me
I
see.
and then I realized what you're actually talking about.
Yeah, I'm forgetting what it's called. What is it called? Outdoor seating octagon. What is it called? What is it called? I cannot find it for the life of me. Find it. Whatever. I can't find it right now. But whoever knows what I'm talking about, do let me know in the comments, cause right now I'm having a huge brain fart too, cause I call it a padoga, which is bad enough already. Is it a terrace? No, it's not a terrace.
No.
Yeah, I'm having a brain fart. But anyways, um, so we hung out for a little bit, and then we finally managed to get a bag, and we went to the place we checked in. And our place specifically had the view of Mount Fuji. But here's a catch: we couldn't see Mount Fuji.
Because it was raining.
It was so cloudy. Like even in the photos that you in the photo that you see right now for the background, you can already see a lot of clouds. And so Mount Fuji, I believe, was towards the to the left of that photo, and it was just clouds. Like legitimately, it covered the entire Mount Fuji. You could not tell where it was if being the first time seeing it in person. And so, um, nice place, but no view of Mount Fuji, unfortunately, for that day. And um, by that time, we actually settled down, and everything is pretty much already dinner time. And so we went and had dinner and at a place called I forget. Do you remember what it's called? I know what they served. I just don't remember what they were called.
Nope. I don't remember. I don't have that little keychain thing we got.
Yeah. Um,
Or I didn't get one, but
there was this place like right, kind of like close by. It was only like maybe 5 minute, no, 10 minute walk. It was a little bit further away, but we saw it on the way, going to the lake, and we saw it on the way towards when we were going to our place. And so we're like, hey, why not try eating this? It was gyukatsu, what we ate, and oh my god, it was really good.
it was so good. That was the first time I've ever had it too, and I was just like, oh my gosh, where have you been all of my life?
It was like the meat was super like tender. The breading was really like thin and like you know not strong. Like nothing was really like seasoned in that breading other than like the basic. And so it felt like buttery. That's what it felt like. It felt buttery eating it.
Yeah, yeah, because it was basically like flash fried, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then they gave you like it was literally like this tiny stove looking thing, but then they covered it in I think it was beef fat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was just like buttery, fatty goodness.
Yeah, it was so good. And I got the smallest serving size. I believe we all got the smallest serving size, right?
Yeah, it was just one cutlet.
Yeah, one cutlet. And even that was enough to fill us up because like the sauces they gave were all pretty good actually.
Yeah, I can't remember them all. I just remember the citrusy one.
Yeah, the citrusy one I remember. That one made a strong impression. And um, oh yeah, it was really good. But it was close to like what was it? 1,600? No, it was a 2,000. Close to
It was
2,000.
1,680.
1,680.
Yeah, don't ask how I remember that.
Just remember it.
I was just like, I think because you paid because you wanted to
Yeah.
do your large bill, and I was
Yeah.
like, and I made a note, and I think that was like the pending one for like the longest time because we kept forgetting about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Probably how
1,600.
I remembered.
Yeah. So it was 1,680. I think it was worth the price. Like that's still cheaper than most meals in America.
Oh yeah,
So
1,680 is how much in US
I think
in
I want to
freedom
say it's close to $10.
in freedom bucks?
Yeah. Well, let's just say 1,600. Yeah, it's close to like 11, 10, $11. So 100% worth.
Oh yeah, it's that cheap. I
Yeah.
was a little sad I didn't get more, but I was actually kind of full, so.
Yeah, yeah. I would have for sure like if I had two servings, I would have for sure like horked it down and regret being too
Maybe if
full.
we didn't eat, if we ate half the amount of rice, we probably could have.
Yeah,
They do give you a bowl of rice too, so.
yeah. And the people were really nice. Like when we were checking out, I'm paying it. You know, we said it was really good. And he's like, oh, and he gave one of us a free keychain.
Oh no, those keychains were like there on the counter in like a bowl you could take.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I just thought they handed it out and then that's how you get it.
Oh no, those were in a bowl, and then they gave my. I'll just spoil it. They gave my fiance a coaster. I think it was.
That's what it was. A coaster.
I think it was a coaster.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, after that we actually separated to do our own little thing, and so I guess do you want to tell your funny because we both kind of had funny experiences on that day?
Sure. Yeah, I could say mine first if you
Yeah.
want. All right. So after we ate, I think we went back.
Mm-hmm.
Did we go back to the?
Yeah. We went back to the
We went
place.
back to the Airbnb for a little.
Yeah, and then we separated from there.
Yeah, and then we went our own ways. So we went to some like distant like little night market. I want to, or not even night market. It was just like a little market,
Mm-hmm.
kind of hidden away. So we went there, and in that area particularly, no taxis go by that area. You have to call for like a taxi. But we didn't have a number either at first because we were like, oh, do we want to even go? Because we could get the taxi driver person to stay for like 20 minutes before they leave because I think that's just what they said they could do for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, no, okay, we'll just stay in like we'll be fine. So she gave us her card or the company card.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay. And then I looked at my fiance, I'm like, you know how to speak Japanese? And she's like, no. I'm like, how are we gonna call someone? I'm like, can you even use your phone out here without it being charged like a cajillion dollars? So I was just like, I don't think we thought that through. But we were just like, YOLO, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we just spent some time over in that area. And the next thing you know, we were like, okay, we should probably go because we got there and they were closing in like 20 minutes. So I was like, we really should just like look and then leave. That's all we have time for. And then we were like trying to get one of the workers at one of the little stores there.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, hey, can you call them for us and let them know we need a taxi?
Mm-hmm.
So otherwise we're kind of stuck out here. And so they're like, yeah, okay. And so they call. Luckily, they were nice enough to help us out there, and they called for us. And then we were able to get back, so we didn't have because it was far. It was out there, like not like many people living around that area. I would say. So we got lucky there.
And then you
Yeah,
finally,
that was.
yeah.
And then we finally, we just got back and we were good to go. We were safe.
Mine was a little bit different, and I think you saw something funny coming out of me, like in the middle of your journey, because I texted you out of nowhere. And so I'm gonna tell you what I texted him first, just out of no, like literally no context. I think all I texted him was, "I don't think I'm getting back."
Yeah, you said something like that, and I was like, well, we barely got back, so good luck. Because we almost didn't make it back.
So what had happened was I took a taxi to a place called Oishi Park, and where Oishi Park is located from where we were is literally the opposite side of the lake, and it takes about 15 minutes to get there by car. And so to even try and walk back, it would take me at least 1 hour 30 minutes to walk back, right? That's really far, by the way, for walking in the dead of night too, or not dead of night, but really late at night. But I went to Oishi Park, went around, looked around, did all my stuff, and looked around. It was really pretty. But I was like, okay, time to go back. Now, how do I get back, right? Because I knew that there was a bus that went by Oishi Park because I remember seeing it in one of the bus destinations. And one of the people at the Kawaguchiko station told me that, oh, you should take the bus to go to Oishi Park. But then I didn't know exactly what I was going to do when taking the bus because I was still unsure how they worked at that time. I figured it out later, but during that time, I was just like, I'll just take a taxi. It's way easier that way. And plus, I was running out of time because I needed daylight to see kind of what's going on. And at Oishi Park, there is a bus station. It's a very inconspicuous one. There's literally like maybe a bench and then like 2 signs and that's it. And it doesn't even say bus. Like you can't tell if you didn't look closely enough. And so when it was time to go, I saw a bunch of tourists. Like I think they were like Indian tourists or something like that. And I saw a bunch of tourists like coming off the bus, whatever. Something commotion was going on, and the bus driver seemed really pissed. He was yelling out something. He was like, I think he was yelling out like Kawaguchiko Station now, right? And he kept on repeating that. And I didn't get on because I had no idea what was going on, right? Turns out that was the bus to go to Kawaguchiko Station. I should have realized by him yelling out Kawaguchiko Station now. But he was really angry with the foreigners, and I was just like, I'm not gonna go. And so, what's it called? I sat there with all these like, foreigners or these tourists around me, just like talking. They're like, "Oh, that was the station we need, or that was the bus we needed to go to Kawaguchiko Station," and they were like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh shit," and I didn't know if another bus was coming. So I used my Google Maps, and luckily there was another bus coming. But before I had even looked that up, that's when I texted Saki. I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it back," because at the time I didn't even know if a bus was gonna come, and so. At this point, I was like 1 hour well within my journey of like being out and at around Oishi Park, and it was getting close to like I want to say 8 o'clock, and it gets really dark. It started to get really dark, and so the bus finally came, and everyone boarded. And what I did not know, what you were supposed to do, was when you board the bus, as someone without a bus pass. Or, the transporter accounts, like it's like a Suica card or something like that. IC card, that's what it's called. You have to take a ticket the moment you board that bus in order for them to determine when you boarded that bus and how much you need to pay when you put in that ticket. I didn't do that. And I didn't realize that until later, where I was reading back on a picture I took of like the guide on how to ride a bus. And it says, oh yeah, take your ticket. I'm like, what ticket? I don't have a ticket. I'm fucked. I basically boarded this bus without a ticket, so I can get in trouble for this. And the whole time I was really worried. And we finally got to Kawaguchiko Station, and I was so worried that I went last in order to explain to the bus driver my situation in like broken Japanese, essentially. And I told him essentially, I was like, I didn't have a ticket. I don't have a ticket. Is that fine? He's like, oh, where did you get off? And I told him like, oh, Oishi Park. And he's like, oh, no problem. And then he charged me the exact amount of money that I needed to go. Luckily, I didn't get in trouble for that. But I could have gotten into serious trouble if whatever reason he decided like, fuck this guy. He had every right to. either like report me or something like that. But I finally got back, and I was drained. But my God, like that was the time where I almost got like stuck at a park, and I would have had to walk like 1 hour 30 minutes around a lake in order to get back home or back to our place.
Wild adventure for both of us.
Yeah. And so that was just the first night. And so the second day came around, and we woke up early because we wanted to go back to Oishi Park. And we took a taxi because there was a taxi there early in the morning. I think we went at like what 6 a.m. 6 a.m.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was really early, and then we went there and we got dropped off, and I was thinking maybe we can have this dude stay around because we were only thinking maybe stick around 20 minutes max, and in the end we're like, nah, it's gonna be too expensive because he was gonna run the meter while he was waiting, which is again reasonable. He's waiting for us when he can go out and go pick up other customers and get more business. So we ended up sending him away, and we did our whole walk. And I guess you want to try to talk about our attempted fail.
Attempted.
to try and get that proposal.
Oh, I don't know. Your attempted fail, maybe. Because
Yeah, it was my attempted fail. I tried to be like, oh, maybe this is the no. I basically tried multiple times to try and see if we can get the proposal going. Nope, it failed.
Well, that, and I told you if we couldn't see it in the morning, I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was a fail, but I mean, it was still, the park was really nice. It was really quiet because again, it was 6 a.m. There was no one there. Well, there was actually quite a bit of people actually, but not like a lot. There was a lot of fishermen. Did you notice that? Like there was a lot of fishermen.
Yeah, I saw like 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah. But
I don't know what they would catch, but
yeah, I have no idea what they were gonna catch, but yeah. So the time was we had to leave, and we're like, how are we gonna get back, right? The same situation happened for you yesterday, where it's like we don't have a taxi. I don't see a taxi out here. I think we gotta call him, right? So we're deliberating on how to do it, and then by pure coincidence, a taxi driver comes on to drop off another person who wanted to come to Oishi Park, and so we caught him, and then we were able to get back pretty safely. No real issues, and we got back in time. I think that's about it for that day, right? There was nothing else for that one.
Well, a little. I guess a little bit of a correctness for the coincidental taxi guy. Yeah, he pulled in, and I was like, "Oh, hey, look, there's a taxi." And so you just took off because you wanted to make sure we could, get a ride from him.
Yeah.
And so we got there, and he basically was taking a quick break there.
Yeah.
He didn't drop anyone off. He came from dropping someone off, and he came here to take a couple minute break before he went back, to work to drive other people. And so yeah, and then I was like, oh hey, perfect timing, because we were literally gonna leave, but we had no way of getting out.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, there's a bus that comes at 8 or something, and I was like, that's cutting it too close to where we need to get to next.
Yeah, because we had to be at the station by like, what was it, like
8:30.
Yeah.
It was like 8:30ish, and we would have got back by like 8:15 or no. It was just cutting it close.
Yeah. And plus we needed to grab all our bags from the place and then clean up and then one final time and then go out.
And then walk up the hill.
Yeah. So then we made it, and then we got back to the Kawaguchiko station, and we went back all the way to Tokyo Station, and that ride felt a lot longer going to Tokyo Station than coming from Tokyo Station. I don't know why.
Really? I thought it was opposite.
Yeah.
I didn't feel as long.
I think it's because I was somewhat uncomfortable for some reason. Like, I don't know what. Like, something was not, like, I sat wrong or something like that. So, I was not feeling, like, comfortable. So, I think that's why it felt like it took longer for me. But, yeah. That took a while. And so, yeah, we got back to Tokyo Station. And then we immediately started going off to our next destination.
Yep. Just nonstop.
Literally nonstop. And so the next destination is quite the journey because we went from around the Tokyo area near Mount Fuji because we were traveling in relatively close areas, right? From Osaka to Kyoto and Kyoto to Tokyo. That's still not far. It's like 3 hours at most. Um, if you take the Shinkansen. But this one, we went from Tokyo all the way up north to Aomori.
Yeah, that's like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it was about 5 hours by Shinkansen, which goes really fast, by the way.
You're basically going from like the southern part of Japan to the very northern part of Japan.
Yeah, essentially. So
That
we
is
took.
it.
Hmm.
I was like, that is basically what we just did.
Yeah. So we took a train all the way to Aomori, and we got there like midday, right? It wasn't that late.
It was like 12:31,
Hmm.
because then we went from there to Hirosaki, which took like 45 minutes. So we got there around like 2 something. Oh my god, this bird is so loud. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard that.
Alex, a Disney princess.
Yeah, the bird was just like, I'm gonna go up right to this guy's window and scream as loud as I can.
It's not that low, don't worry.
It's loud to me because it was right next to me.
Yeah. So we got to Hirosaki. We ended up going to Hirosaki, and we got a place there, and then we immediately went off to another place, the Cherry Blossom Festival, Hirosaki Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yeah, we literally just unpacked and just went off to the festival.
Yeah, and also, I remember this was a lot. This is where the trip got a lot better too in terms of like overall was because it was a lot colder for you, or colder overall because we're in the north, and for you, you were like dying from the heat back down
Well,
there.
that and the Shinkansen doesn't have AC.
Oh yeah.
There was no airflow in that train thing at all. So yeah, you were just like sweating in there for like 5 hours.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was getting a little bit uncomfortable just from all the sweat too.
Yeah, and then when we finally went up north, it was like really like cold, dry air.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was nice in terms of what's it called? Just like different environment.
Change your face too, yeah.
Yeah. And so we immediately went off to the Cherry Blossom Festival, and it was really nice because the park was a lot bigger than I imagined, to be honest. And there was that place in particular where the Cherry Blossom Festival was held had a lot of what's it called? Had castles. It was a historical site too. There was a castle there. I don't remember exactly which castle it is.
Hirosaki Castle.
Yeah, probably Hirosaki Castle.
No, that's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Literally
I
called
thought,
Hirosaki Castle.
I thought it was called something else because like the lord, like the lord who owns that castle like was a different name, but it probably was Hirosaki who owned it.
Yeah, it's literally was called Hirosaki Castle.
Yeah, and it was really nice. It was really like really pretty. Sun was like it was around midday when we went, so sun was pretty strong outside, and as the name suggests, there was a festival going on where there was a bunch of food stands, and so after a while we finally got to because we explored quite a bit first, and then we finally got to the food stand, and you and I split up because we wanted to try different foods, I think, or I went ahead because your fiance was trying out, I think, a scallop, right?
Well, she thought it was scallop, but it was just seafood in general.
Hmm. And then
Yeah, she was getting something, and then you were like, "Oh, I want to see what they have first before you bought food."
Mm-hmm.
So you just took off just to see what they had.
Yeah. And then we ended up getting our own food, and we met up a little bit and we ate, and it was pretty good. I think you yourself got grilled skew, what's it called, yakitori?
Oh, we got way more than just yakitori.
I forget what you got. I know you did get multiple items, yeah, as you said.
So she got this seafood thing, and then she got oden,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got like one of those Korean corn dog looking things,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you got us the okonomiyaki,
Yeah, okonomiyaki.
and then after that we had yakitori. And then I think after that we had the pie.
Yes, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. And just for a little bit more context, there's a bunch of cherry blossom trees in the middle of the like sort of stands, like kind of circling around trees, and it was really pretty overall. And so I think we split up a little bit. We split up again for a short bit because I think your girlfriend or your fiance wanted to get something, and I was curious about something else. So I split off and went on my own. And I passed by this apple pie stand, and there was no customers whatsoever. Like, he didn't seem like he was getting that much business in the first place. And I didn't go to him right away. I was just like, eh, and went further down. And then I got to the end, came back, and for some reason I was just like, I passed by this dude multiple times. He kind of looked at me too, like 4 times when I was passing by. I was just like, for some reason, I was just like, I'll just buy an apple pie. And so I bought an apple pie, and I bit into it. I was just like, oh my god, this apple pie is literally the best apple pie I've ever had. And the apple pies were not like the, full-on circular pies. They were like what are they closely most related? Like the McDonald's pie,
Yeah,
whatever?
like the McDonald's ones. They're like little pocket pies, like mini ones.
Yeah. And they were so good that I literally texted Saki. I was like, yo, get over here. I found some amazing apple pie.
Yeah, I don't think you would have tried it because I remember my fiance was like, "Oh yeah, Hirosaki like area is known for their apples."
Yeah, I would have legitimately never tried it because, yeah, that wouldn't have happened if your fiance never said that. So
Yeah,
that's another factor as to why I tried. I was like, hey, it's apple, might as well try. It's like the only apple thing I saw, so.
yeah. Then you texted us, and then we came over. We ate one, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good." We literally asked him what time he'd be open the next day, and so we literally went the next day for apple pie. I think we bought like 10 total from that
Yeah,
guy.
we bought so much from that dude.
He
Because
probably looked at us like, "What the hell's wrong with these guys?"
Because so I went there, bought one, ate one. I went there back again to buy another one, ate one, and then you came over and bought yourself one, and then you ate it, and then I think you didn't buy that after that point, right? That was the next day when you bought it again, right? Or did you buy one more that night?
I bought two. You bought three technically, but you gave us one because we asked.
Yeah.
I bought a second one that day,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next day you bought. No, you didn't buy one the next day.
No, I bought one the next day. I'm pretty sure.
No, you held off. I remember.
Did I? I don't.
Yeah, you were like, no, you were gonna hold off, and I was like, okay, and then I bought four.
No, I did buy one. I bought one. I held off on buying another one. That's what it was.
Really? I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah. I
that.
bought
Okay.
one more because I bought one when you were off doing your thing, and
Mhm.
I bought one and ate one, and then when you came by after you finished what you were doing, that's when you asked, "Oh, are you gonna buy one more?" And I was like, "Nah, I'll hold back."
Oh,
So
I
I
see.
ended
And
up.
then yeah, I think I bought four.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take two, and my fiance wanted one, and then she's like, is this for later too? I'm like, sure. She's like, and she literally looked at me, asked that, looked back at the dude, and said, make it four. And he's like, okay.
That dude had business that day, those 2 days.
If we were there longer, we probably just would have just stayed there and just made like great friends with him and just been
Yeah,
like, hey,
dude.
just let us know when you're back.
Yeah. You don't understand how good it was. Like we're saying how good it was, but like legitimately it was the most amazing apple pie I've ever had in my life.
And you know it's good if I say it's good because I can't eat fruit, but that didn't give me
That yeah, that did
any
not
problem
stop
at
you
all.
at all.
Oh, dude. Okay, one more thing about these apple pies.
Mhm.
They were so good, and we did mention earlier in the video that Hirosaki area is known for apples.
Mhm.
Do you remember the apple juice?
Yes.
We found literal apple juice in the vending machines, and it was way better than just normal apple juice. And I told Jen about it, and I'm like, dude, apple juice. And then I looked at him again, and I'm like, hold up. big brain idea. Apple juice with the apple pie.
Yes, I remember that.
And you just looked at me like I was a fucking genius.
Because you were at that time. I didn't even think about it at that time.
And you're like, oh, that sounds good. And then I told you, I was like, oh, here's where you buy the apple juice. So you bought one, drank a little bit, and you're like, oh, that's so good. And then we walked towards the apple pie guy, and I'm like, we got to try it. Apple juice, apple pie. Probably the best decision we made over there.
Yeah. Oh, it was like, and when I ate it, it was like that Food Wars episode where like we're getting bodied by Apple.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You know, we imagined the apple. That's how good it was. It was so good.
It was amazing. And then we went to like the little market thing and we bought a bunch of Apple stuff.
Yeah. I went ham.
Yeah, we bought like, I know me and my fiance, we bought these little apple pies. And then we bought like those apple bread things.
Yeah.
I don't know what you went ham on. I
bought like apple mochi. I bought the apple cookies, and then I bought apple whiskey, like dessert thing, or bourbon, apple bourbon. That's what it was. It was apple bourbon, like pastry, and then I bought what's it called? And I bought some like chopsticks. I bought like a little coin bag, and then I bought. There was one more thing I think I bought that I don't remember. But yeah, I ended up buying a lot in that store.
Yeah, I mean, again, when's the next time we're gonna go? So, especially during this time of year.
Yeah, it was so good.
You kind of have to go all out.
Yeah. And then, I guess, speaking of, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not. Do you want to talk about, like, because I mentioned that you were doing your own thing when I was buying the apple pie. Do you want to talk about what you were doing during that time?
Yeah, I can. So during that time, it was the next morning that we went back to the festival. And so Jin went off. He just kind of wanted to explore the other parts of the park we didn't see the day before. And then he ended up at the apple pie shop. I don't think that was a coincidence.
No, it was not. Let me tell you, that was my ultimate destination. That's what it was.
Anyway, so he went off to do his own thing. And then there was a botanical garden that we couldn't get into the day before because it was closed by the time we got there. And I wanted to go see it. So me and my fiance went. We bought a ticket. We went in. It was really nice. Sorry. Oh, well, not sorry. And then we went in, just kind of looked around. It was really pretty. All the trees were, well kept for their social media page to show off, like, hey, we still have cherry blossoms up here, And so, yeah, we just walked around the area. We found a nice quiet spot, kind of chatted a little, took some photos because it was really pretty. And yeah, I got on one knee and it happened. I popped the question. I wanted to make a joke, but I probably shouldn't. She said yes. I was gonna be like, yeah, and she said no, and that was it. I'm just kidding. No, she said yes, so now that is why I've been saying fiance, because I'm so used to it now. Usually it's girlfriend. Yeah, got engaged under a cherry blossom tree in Japan.
And you have no idea, by the way, how much you get tired of. No offense. But when you see a couple, especially when they strengthen their love, you just see hearts like popping out, and then it hits you in the head. You're just like dunk dunk dunk, and you're like, when you're single, you're just like, man, this sucks. Being the third wheel sucks. No, but I really did like. I was so happy that you finally got together with your fiance. But I just remember thinking, I'm like, so this is what it's like to be a third wheel. No wonder why all those like people who talk about being the third wheel are grumpy.
Yeah. I've been a third wheel before and it was pretty funny.
But yeah, I was like, I see the love. And I'm
Just
single.
It's just like, I see the love, but not for me.
Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like there's light shining on you, and I'm in the corner, just in the dark, just like that's nice. That's what it is. But yeah, no, really, really joyous occasion. I'm so glad you were able to, propose to her. So congratulations, man. You're now engaged, and hopefully we'll be married in the future.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yep.
And
Just-
it was an awesome thing that you were able to do it in a special place too.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we bought tickets to go in there because I didn't know it would be that pretty.
Yeah, like not many people can say like, yeah, I proposed. Like, imagine like when you're talking about to your kids, yeah, I proposed to your mom in Japan. Top that in a cherry blossom festival.
Under a tree. Usually it's like, oh yeah, I met your mom here, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't think you could top that one.
You got to do what I did, boy.
I gotta flex on my children if I have children.
Yeah.
Like, where'd you propose to mom? Kid, you're never gonna get on my level, but I did it.
Yeah. So, festival's over. I bought a couple more things, and then we finally had to leave because it was time for us to go to another destination. But we'll talk about that next time because time is up. So yeah. Lesson is, if you're single, beware of couples. You will die inside.
Yeah, well, unless you're like really introverted, that probably is not a big deal.
Oh, true. Yeah. And Hirosaki, amazing place for apples. Get the apple pie.
Go find that apple pie guy.
You'll know who we're talking about when you ever go to the Hirosaki Cherry Blossom Festival. You'll know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, tell him we sent you.
Yeah, tell them that we sent you. He'll know who he's talking about. Just talk about the Americans who came for 10 apple pies in 2 days.
I mean, they're not big, so you can't blame us on that, but 10 is a little bit much, but come on, dude.
It was good.
Those were so good. I kind of want more, but I know I'm never going to get to that level of greatness. It's no point.
That's the depressing part, right? You have this amazing food and
You know you will never get it again for a long time.
Yep. But yeah, so closing this episode, we'll come out with another episode talking about probably the last leg of our trip. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So I'll be closing off. So I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
And this is The Casuals, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.